Hello, welcome. Oh, sorry. My chair is kind of loud and squeaky. I did not swap out my chair today because my neck is hurting today because of reasons and it's all my fault and whatever. But um yeah, I'll need to lean my head back occasionally like this so that I don't die. So yeah, that's what's happening. I hope you all are doing okay. Um We're reading Remnants of Filth again. A great book. A good book, a great book, a wonderful book. I forgot where we left off. I just know that this chapter is called Prize. We left off with them kind of fighting over Gumong, right? About who takes Gumong. Yeah. 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 And now they're gonna compete for his hand, I guess. I guess. But yeah, I'm just waiting for my tea to cool down. Um, you know, waiting for people to see a notification and pop in if they so choose. I'm not gonna lie, this book has not been getting not nearly as much attention as the fish book, which is fine. This is a completely different genre and kind of like you need to be in a specific headspace for it, or you just got to be used to this kind of genre. Um, but yeah, it's still a good book and I love it. And we're like 2/3 done. So yeah, today we'll be reading at least 2 chapters. Ooh, the second chapter is a bit longer. I'll try to go for 3. Oh my god, because there's an illustration in the third one. So I'll try to go for 3. We'll see how my neck fares. But yeah, I'm going to see if my tea is cooled down. It's not. Spoiler alert, it's not. I know it isn't. Uh, sorry I'm a bit late, even though I already postponed my stream today to 8 instead of 6. And then I was 10 minutes late. Again, my neck hurt. I needed to lie down for a bit to even be able to do this stream, so yep. I have some hmm. I think it's rosehip and hibiscus, but it might just be lemon and raspberry. I don't know. They were on top of each other, and I can't tell which one it is. They taste the same anyway. It might be lemon and raspberry. But no matter. Ooh. I need to brush my hair. I'm gonna stretch it a little bit before we start. And let's see what these chapters have in store for us. Whoa! Okay. Chapter 23, page 253. Muranglian lazily rolled his eyes. Without even turning to look, he smirked and said, Then Jihajun can anticipate further conflict. Then Jihajun can anticipate further conflict with his lord. Muranglian's shift in self-address was a transparent attempt to intimidate Moji with this lord's imperial bloodline. Moji was fully aware of this. His expression grew frostier, and his aura more terrifying. There were a few beats of silence in the palace hall, a hush that was broken when Moji next spoke. Remember this. Gumon carries countless secrets and owes countless blood debts, but because of your selfishness, this incident occurred while he was in your custody. Moji paused, his gaze darkening like ice as it shattered. I will not let you have him. If Wang Shijun has more to say, I wait with bated breath. That was so beautiful I could cry. I need to get that tattooed. Holy shit. I'm sorry. It's just I will I wait with bated breath. That's poetry. That is poetry. You of these two people, one was a prince of the one was a prince of the aristocracy, while the other was a general of the military. Their exchanged glance flashed like lightning and disappeared just as quickly. Muranglian's face was almost translucent in its pallor, the clenching of his jaw extraordinarily stark against his skin. He ground his teeth for a long moment before barking with laughter. Very well. You dare to claim you're not protecting him. You dare to claim to hate him. Muranglian's eyes glinted like poison feather wine, and his smile tightened on his face. Poison feather wine, as a footnote, Genju wine made poisonous with a touch of the mythological Gen Niao's feather. All right. Moji, haven't you noticed? What you're saying to this lord right now is exactly what Gumong said when you were the one floundering and he was shielding you. Moji looked down at Muranglian calmly, something subtle in his expression. To claim that you hate Gumong is utterly laughable. If he's handed to you today, sooner or later, calamity will befall Changhua. Unexpectedly, Moji started smiling as well. His smile was almost upsettingly handsome, but his eyes were terribly cold. How did Gumong ever protect me? I only know that he left a scar on my chest that will never fade. I only remember that he tried to kill me. I hate him. Moji spoke evenly, his eyes as clear as fresh fallen snow. You say he once protected me? My apologies, Wang Shujun, but that happened so long ago. This general doesn't remember anymore. He turned, took a knee before the imperial throne, and lowered his gaze. Your Majesty, none in Changhua know Gumong's spells better than I. Moreover, Wang Shujun has failed in his it is split between the lines, and it's very supervisory. I don't know. I know what it means and I know the word. Give me a break. Okay, Wang Shujun has failed in his supervisory duties. Duties? Which resulted in today's disaster. I request to be allowed to detain Gumong and enforce stricter scrutiny upon him in my manner. Stricter scrutiny, alright. He's gonna... That's one way to put it. Muranglian turned. Moji, you've been working tirelessly to protect him from the moment you returned, he snapped. What exactly are you planning? Moji chose not to dignify Muranglian with any further response. The Emperor thought it over. Just as he was about to speak, an imperial guard sprinted to the door and whispered anxiously to the herald. The herald's expression instantly changed as he hurried deferentially up to the throne. Your Imperial Majesty, an urgent report from the capital. Tea break. The Emperor nearly kicked over the table. This is the second time tonight. What now? The herald's face was drained of color. There's been a massacre at the Mansion of Beauties in the northern quarter. Almost everyone was killed, including official Yu of Chengtian Terrace. What? The crowd was shocked. Even the Emperor rose shot up from his throne. I think that's not supposed to be like that. Even the Emperor shot up from his throne, wide-eyed. Who is responsible? No one knows. By the time the Imperial Guard discovered the situation at the mansion, the criminal had escaped. They even left a message on the wall. What message? The official was still petrified, and he stammered out an answer. This humble one is lonely, sincerely seeking wives. Ew. That's weird. This humble one is lonely, sincerely seeking wives. The Emperor repeated it twice, his temper flaring. What nonsense! What deranged old bachelor would write this kind of thing and murder a bunch of people? Does he want to kill, or does he want woman? He paused, and when he spoke again, it was in a still more irritable tone. Are there no other clues? Not yet. The Emperor once more resorted to his favorite catchphrase, useless trash. He sank back against the throne and collected himself for a while. His lashes fluttered as his attention fell again on Moji and Murong Lian. An idea had popped into his head. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This doesn't sound good. The matter of Gumong will be temporarily set aside. The Emperor sat up slowly as he spoke. The Mansion of Beauties incident had come to starting over. The Mansion of Beauties incident had come at an inopportune time, but perhaps it could be. Sorry, my neck is very silly today. But perhaps it could prove useful. Of the two men fighting in front of the hall for control of Gumong, one was a blood relative and the other an important subject. Nothing good could come of refusing either. This case was the perfect opportunity. He could toss the responsibility of decision to a third party. An atrocity such as this, within the imperial capital, it is an insult that cannot be borne. We command the two of you to go forth and investigate at once. Whoever catches the culprit first may return to ask us for Gumong. Yep, that's what I thought. Your Imperial Majesty intends to make him a prize? Muronglian asked. The Emperor glanced at him. You two are already at each other's throats merely to settle a personal grudge, or will he not suffice? Muronglian smiled. He will. However, while I do this for revenge, Jihujun's motives are yet unknown. Moji said nothing. Enough, Muronglian. Jihujun has always been a gentleman. Stop throwing around accusations over some petty grievances. The Emperor impatiently waved a hand to cut himself off. To cut him off, then pointed at Gumong, asleep within Shenong Terrace's shield array. Wait, we can see him? He's right there? Has he been here this whole time? What's going on? Huh? Okay. Jihujun, we also want to see which of you possesses the greater skill, he said. If you have no objections, then let it be done. I accept, Moji said. Then you should get on with it. The Emperor spun the beads in his hand. Whoever wins can take him away. Thus the still insensible Gumong became the incentive for these two noble lords to crack the case. Muronglian wanted him to suffer, whereas Moji wanted... Forget it. He didn't know what he ought to do after bringing Gumong back to his manor either, nor, at present, was it something he ought to think about. Scene break. Inside the Mansion of the Beauties. Inside the Mansion of Beauties, Moji, clad in a set of black Imperial Commander robes, stood with his hands clasped behind his back, gazing at the words scrawled on the wall in fresh blood. And at the Emperor's command, the healers from Shenong Terrace were handling the corpses that had died tragic deaths within the brothel, while Moji and Muronglian had accompanied them to investigate the matter and catch the killer. Who is talking? Sorry. Okay. Among the dead are 14 prostitutes, 37 clients, and 7 mansion employees. One of the healers was giving Moji a casualty report. That's a lot of people dead. That's a lot of people dead. After cross-referencing with the directory, we were determined that 5 prostitutes are missing. Leon frowned. Missing? Yes. Seeing as everyone in the brothel was killed, and even official Yu couldn't escape, those 5 prostitutes can't have gotten away on their own. It's likely that the killer took them away, Leon said thoughtfully. Why did the killer take those 5? Is he really taking women captive to be his wives? Sorry, my nose is getting fuzzy, and that means there's bad circulation going on in my body. So I need to stretch a bit. Your face should not be feeling fuzzy for no reason, by the way. This is just a me thing. This is a bad circulation kind of thing. It's also an overheating thing, I believe. But I think it's mostly to do with bad circulation. Oh! Okay. Moji walked to the side of the blood-stained staircase, where a few healers were handling Elder Yu's corpse. As he approached, they all performed obeisance. Obeisance. I looked it up, and that's what the pronunciation guide gave me. Obeisance. So yeah. Jihajun. What traces of magic remain on Elder Yu's body? Jihujun. They are similar but not identical to the black magic spells of the Lao Kingdom. Please come take a look. As the healer spoke, he lifted a corner of the cloth covering the corpse. Corner of the cloth covering the corpse. Say that 10 times fast, jeez. Official Yu's eyes have been taken and his heart dug out. The flesh around the wounds has festered with unnatural speed, faster than injuries caused by ordinary weapons. In fact, it seems like a cannibalistic, vengeful ghost, Moji finished with a frown. Yes, it does look like the work of a vengeful ghost. Moji's gaze swept over the evidence of Elder Yu's violent demise. The 2 hollows of his eyes, and the hole in his chest had begun to seep black liquid. But vengeful ghosts were rarely lucid. Writing something like, "This humble one is lonely, sincerely seeking wives," didn't seem like the behavior of a vengeful ghost. As he thought, his gaze slowly traveled down, stopping at the Elder Yu's mutilated chest. Are the other bodies like this as well? The healer flipped through the records and shook his head. No, only 17 people had their eyes and hearts dug out. Show me the names. The first one who had died this way was Elder Yu. Moji wasn't familiar with all the names that followed, but those he did know were young masters from influential families. The ones who lost their hearts were all cultivators. We can't be sure, but that seems to be the case. A cultivator's heart was where their spiritual core resided, and after hearts, eyes were the strongest source of spiritual energy. When devoured by vengeful ghosts and demons, these organs could serve as potent cultivation amplifiers. Makes sense. Moji lowered his head, murmuring to himself in thought. At this moment, an Imperial guard pushed open the door. He had been running hard, and despite the cold outside, sweat beaded his forehead. Jihajun! Wang! Sorry, the footnote right there. Like, we know he's panicking and he's trying to say Wang Shijun, but the footnote there says Wang is a Chinese onomatopoeia for barking dogs. Oh my god. Lian flicked his peach blossom eyes to the side. That's so cunty. I can't. That is so cunty. Smiling with keen interest. Wang, why are you barking? Are you calling our Jihujin a dog? Why is he so cunty? I hate him, but he serves. The guard swallowed. Wang Shujun! Murong Lian's smile vanished. Catch your fucking breath before you speak. Yes, sir, the Imperial Guard hastily replied. But there's a new development. After Gumong went berserk, the warning barrier at Lome Pavilion was broken. Just now, when the manager was accounting for the pavilion's occupants, they discovered someone missing. Murong Lian bristled and grabbed the guard by the lapels. Lapels? Is it labels or lapels? I don't know. I'm just gonna keep saying lapels. What happened? They checked 3 times and said that despite the chaos, no one escaped. How was someone missing now? The guard didn't get a chance to respond before another team rushed over through the snowy night on horseback. As it turned out, they were escorting Madame Chin, manager of Lome Pavilion. She fell to her knees as soon as she dismounted, shivering on the ground. Wang Shujun, this servant deserves death! This servant deserves death! Murong Lian was about to pass out from pure rage. If you want to die so badly, do it later. First tell me clearly, are you blind or are you stupid? When you took attendance the first 3 times, you said no one was missing. So how is that what? So how is that now no longer the case? Explain. Wang Shujun, please forgive me, she sobbed. This servant was only counting the prostitutes and courtesans, and she attentively checked on them so many times. They were all present and accounted for, but this servant forgot. What did you forget? Madame Chin wailed. This servant forgot that there was a bedridden cook in the kitchen side room. A cook? Murong Lian was stumped. Yes, a month ago, when you punished Gumong to confinement and reflection and reduced his meals, he couldn't stand the hunger and went to the kitchen to steal food. Oh, yeah, Madame Chin cried. That cook bumped into him and hit and cursed him, but he set off Gumong's sword array and was cut to ribbons. Everyone was silent. The doctor said those wounds required at least a few months of bed rest, so at first I didn't expect that he could possibly do anything. How could I guess that he would sneak out when Gumong broke the barrier? Useless trash! Murong Lian was infuriated. He kicked Madame Chin in the chest and sent her flying into the swirling snow. Bitch! Bitch! Pointing at her, he bellowed, Do you know what manner of disaster you've unleashed? All the servants and prostitutes of Lome Pavilion were prisoners who harbored deep loathing for Changhua. Although their cores were destroyed when they entered the pavilion, every country had their arcane secrets. Arcane mention? Sorry, I'm just sorry. It was said that there had once been a black magic practitioner from the Lao Kingdom who could even repair shattered cores, so a great many barriers were layered around Lome Pavilion. No one could have predicted that Gumong's rampage would let him break through every single one of those barriers. Moreover, it would have been one thing for them to be broken, but then a bedridden man had suddenly jumped up and taken the opportunity to escape, and the manager had only just figured it out. Even worse, not long after this cook disappeared, there had been a bloody massacre in which almost 100 citizens of the capital had lost their lives. Eesh. Hey, don't turn off. What the hell? Okay, sorry. If the Emperor were to take a closer look at this, who would he blame? None other than Murong Lian. Despite himself, a red flush stained Murong Lian's pale face. He felt nearly faint. Gumong, he raged. Once again, it's all your fault. He turned his heel. Go get that cook's file and bring it to me to examine. Where did he come from? How old is he? What's his life history? I need to know every detail down to how many women he's bedded. Hurry up. Yes, yes. Staggering to her feet, the madam mounted her horse and galloped away in a panic. Shaking out his sleeves, Moronglion returned to the mansion of beauties in an anxious fury. He tilted his head and stared, panting at the words written on the wall. This humble one is lonely, sincerely seeking wives. One of Moronglion's personal attendants found himself compelled to offer a suggestion. My lord, what do you want? Moronglion snapped, irascible as ever. This isn't right. Mind a jumble, Moronglion was briefly bewildered. What's not right? Gumong injured that cook a month ago, and now Gumong's gone berserk, and the cook took the chance to escape. The attendant's voice lowered as he glanced cautiously at Moronglion. Don't you think it's a little too much of a coincidence? Moronglion considered this, narrowing his eyes. You're saying that a cook planned this? That he made use of Gumong? Or what if Gumong wasn't the one being used? If you look at all the evidence, my lord, should we not imagine the worst? Is it not possible that Gumong and the cook planned all this together? That doesn't seem plausible, but okay. Moronglion's heart tightened. What country was that injured cook captured from? The attendant had been worried for precisely this reason. He lowered his head. The Lao Kingdom. So the cook was another dog bastard from the Lao Kingdom. Moronglion's back was drenched in cold sweat. At this moment, Gumong was still in the palace. It was better safe than sorry. If Gumong really had devised some unknown scheme with that cook, and if the two of them were working together to create a diversion and lure the tiger from the mountain, then... The blood drained from Moronglion's face. After a breath, he strode out into the snow. Summon my golden winged snow Pegasus. What the fuck? Sorry, Pegasus popping out at that moment was not what I was expecting. Summon my golden winged snow Pegasus. Is this scum villain? What? Sorry, I'm sorry. That's a bit much. I must go to the palace at once to see His Imperial Majesty. And that's the end of the chapter. Chapter 24 is called Flower Pluckers Are Human Too. Is this just saying, like this is very silly. Flower pluckers as in like fuckboys or what? We'll see about that, I guess. We'll see. Actually, you know what? I think the fuzzy nose thing might also be like a an oxygen thing, because my nose is a bit stuffy right now. Oy. Okay. Stretch. Let's take a short break. Not an actual break, just like a break here. To stretch a little. To roll my neck so it doesn't break. Whew. That feels nice. That feels nice. Oh my god, I could fall asleep. But I won't. I won't. I won't. Two ashes and... Okay, continuing. Flower pluckers are human too. Page 263. Muranglian raced to the palace, but the emperor met his revelation with an attitude of pure nonchalance. As he teased the two golden beasts by the brazier, listening to them sing his praises in alternating duets of "His Imperial Majesty is handsome and carefree," and "His Imperial Majesty is gloriously majestic," he reassured Muranglian with a few careless platitudes, then told him to focus on cracking the case instead of worrying over other matters. The Imperial Palace is closely guarded. Even if Gumong did collude with that cook, what could he do? Pull down the sky? Your Imperial Majesty must remain vigilant, Muranglian said anxiously. In the end, this incident is the result of this subject's neglect. If your Imperial Majesty were to come to harm... The Emperor stopped fiddling with his golden incense chopsticks and put them down. Enough. You think we don't know you? Gumong escaped from your pavilion. You're only so anxious because you're afraid we'll be angry and hold you responsible. He shot a glance at Muranglian with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Would we punish... No, what? I skipped a line. Ooh, oh, this guy. Oh, Alian, you're our brother by blood. Be at ease. Would we punish you for something like this? The Alian? That's nasty. He's... Once the Emperor ascended to the throne, according to custom, he was to address his siblings and cousins by their official titles. However... In private, he still sometimes called Muranglian Alian. When he needed to reassure him, the closeness of familial bonds had to be emphasized. As for Gumong, if you still feel uneasy, we'll send him to the prison. It would be a trial for him to escape that, even if he grew wings. With great effort, Muranglian called himself an acquiesced. Your Imperial Majesty, might this subject receive permission to perform an interrogation, should the case require it? Go ahead. Why wouldn't you be allowed to interrogate someone? Then the subject's use of torture... The Emperor glanced at him, smiling, then snorted. Same reaction! What the fuck? They say it's Jihujin, They say it's Jihujin the ruthless and Wangshu the cruel. We see that this is true indeed. Is it that you can't get people to tell the truth without torture? Muranglian cleared his throat. Gumong is a special case, of course. Enough. Interrogate him however you like, but don't overdo it. We think Jihujin retains some kind of obsession with him. We found it amusing the first time you two bickered in the hall, but we'll be annoyed by the second round. Not him. I noticed this before, the first time he did this, but he's been speaking in third person? Plurals for himself, right? That's wild. I do that sometimes, honestly. Is he, supposed to do that? As an emperor, or is this just one of his silly little quirks? I don't know. Where was I? I lost my place. Where was I? I'll just start over the paragraph. Enough. Interrogate him however you like, but don't overdo it. We think Jihujin retains some kind of obsession with him. We found it amusing the first time you two bickered in the hall, but will be annoyed by the second round. The Emperor played with the jade beads in his hand and continued lightly. Keep yourself under control. Don't let us hear a formal indictment against you. He rolled his eyes. One of you is an important military officer, and the other an important scion. Yet, for the sake of your personal grudges, you act like 3-year-olds squabbling over a toy. Do you really think we can't tell? Murong Leon found himself unable to reply. The rising sun emerged in the east. As the light of day pierced the darkness, the citizens awakened and rose from their beds, chattering and gossiping. News of the murders in the mansion of beauties the previous night was immediately leaked and swiftly spread across the imperial capital until it became the hottest topic of conversation for all of the capital citizens. Somehow everyone, from the old and grey to children and youths, had a pithy comment to share. Pithy comment? Okay. Almost everyone in the brothel was killed overnight. How tragic. Ay ya, good heavens! Has the killer been caught? He's long since escaped. Before escaping, he left writing on the walls. Gold and treasure are a plentiful sight, but rare are the men who can last all night. That's not what he wrote. The version I heard was, this humble one is lonely, sincerely seeking wives. Who can say? In any case, the Mansion of Beauties is all sealed up now. No one can go in other than the officials investigating the case. But in my opinion, no matter if it was gold and treasure are a plentiful sight, or this humble one is lonely, it sounds like a case of seizing woman rather than riches. Could it be a flower? Oh boy. Could it be a flower plucking R-wordist with a penchant for murder? The more the story spread, the more ludicrous it became, and in the end, a certain storyteller came up with this tale. There was so much unclean chi at the Mansion of Beauties that it attracted a lecherous, vengeful ghost. On a dark and moonless night, he stole into the mansion, hee, and killed the men before defiling them, then defiled the women before killing them. That vengeful ghost was unnaturally virile. He defiled and killed more than 70 people in the Mansion of Beauties before the sun rose, and so indiscriminately that he even claimed elderly official Yu. This happened overnight. They didn't even have time to. You. Somebody wrote this in like 2 minutes. This is someone's headcanon of what happened. That's ridiculous. Okay. The tea-drinking customers were wide-eyed and speechless. Isn't that kind of insane? One of the customers couldn't hold back and burst into raucous laughter. Young Yue Gongzi, what's brought this on? Ha 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 ha. The one who had doubled over with laughter was it's Yue Chenqing. Okay. Was Yue Chenqing, who was so idle that he had nothing better to do than collect rumors. He chuckled. I've heard so many versions, but yours is definitely the funniest. Defiling and killing more than 70 people in one night? Bro, I'm afraid that R word isn't virile. He's a 2-pump chump. Sorry. He's not wrong though. He is not wrong. This shattered the atmosphere of terror. Everyone laughed and shook their heads. Even the maidens covered their mouths and giggled in secret. The storyteller was terribly embarrassed, but when he realized his heckler was the young master of the Yue clan, he couldn't exactly chase him away in one huff. He could only smile along and say, Yes, Yue Gengzi is right. And so the tale of viral artist mounts 70 in one night was revised by the singular Yue Chenqing into 2-pump flower plucker kills brothel goers in furious rampage. What the fuck is that title? Oy. Alright. Probably the only people in the city who weren't in the mood to listen to this chatter were the friends and families of the murdered clients, the harried imperial guards, everyone at Shenong Terrace, and the two noble masters, Jihe and Wangshu. Within Wangshu Manor, an attendant spoke with their head lowered. My lord, the servant you wanted from Lome Pavilion is here. Moronglion had just smoked 2 pipes worth of ephemera. He was in a good mood indeed. All right, let him in. The servant hurriedly entered the hall, kneeling in front of Moronglion to give him report. This slave greets Wangshu Shenjun. May he receive 10,000 blessings. Enough. Save your breath. You shared a room with that escaped cook, correct? Yes. Come, tell me about him. What kind of person is he? He was brought to Lome Pavilion 5 years ago, the servant replied. Doesn't like to talk much. Bit of a creep, often alone. Did anything happen that might have made him develop a grudge against brothel girls? Moronglion asked. Nothing like that, exactly, the servant responded. But I heard he was a lecher in the Lao Kingdom who always wanted to take pretty girls for himself. Apparently, he even slept with his sworn brother's wife. Moronglion sighed. So he's a pervert. He thought to himself that the rumors spreading among the people might not be too far off. The cook might indeed be a lecherous artist with some kind of insane craving. Why else would he keep those 5 women by his side? What about him and Gumong? Moronglion asked. Did they interact? I don't think they were ever close. Moronglion murmured under his breath and then said, I understand. You may withdraw. After the servant left, Moronglion spoke to the attendant. Bring me my silver fox fur coat, the warmest one. I'm going to the prison to interrogate Gumong. He's just doing that for fun. He's such a bitch. He's not even a bitch in the Chi-Rong way. He's just a bitch. Like, he's kind of cunty, but he's also just a bitch. I know I said this, like, the opposite way earlier. But, yeah. Wait, I'm sorry, I'm just going back to look at the illustration of him again. Don't worry about... is that it? Oh. It was so far ago? Far back? What the hell? Where is it? Oh my god, he's so cunty though. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hate him, but... Sorry, he's really pretty. He's really pretty. Alright. The Mansion of Beauty's case was seriously bizarre. If the culprit was a vengeful ghost, how had it written anything? If they were a living person, why had they bothered digging out their victims' hearts? Moji ordered Shannon Terrace to continue examining the wounds on the dead in hopes of finding more clues. After examining each corpse one by one, the healer discovered traces of concealed sword-inflicted injuries, but those marks were quite peculiar as well, which only made the entire case all the more confusing. What's strange about their wounds? The healer hesitated before replying. The water-parting sword. Moji immediately looked up. The water-parting sword Li Qingchan? Exactly so. How could it be? Moji murmured. Oh, this is Moji! Sorry, we're back on Moji's side. I didn't realize that. Moji! And then there's another seed break after that. What? Okay. Oh, I turned the page without even reading it. Hold on, I skipped a little bit. If Moronglion was focusing on interrogation, then Moji was thoroughly intent on investigation. He was analyzing every detail of the crime scene. Okay, that would have put things more into context. Okay. The swordman Zongshi Li Jingchan was a cultivator who had been born in Lichun. Zongshi, honorific term for a master cultivator of particularly outstanding skill. He had been poor in coin and kind of heart. He roamed the lands for more than a decade, exercising and defeating countless demons, but had also been helplessly naive. Oftentimes he had been the one risking his life to stave off calamity, but ill-intentioned cultivators had always ended up stealing his glory. Thus, even after 10 years of hard work, he'd labored in obscurity. Man. Until the year he fought the Battle of Maiden's Lament Mountain. Maiden's Lament Mountain was in the Lao Kingdom's territory. It had once been known as Phoenix Feather Mountain, but the Lao Kingdom military had at one point gathered some 100 women from who knows where, dressed them all in crimson wedding robes, and buried them alive amid the sounds of their anguished wails. Huh? Okay. The fuck? The fuck? The explanation given by the Lao Kingdom's Goshi had been, the stars say that the mountain god requires sacrifice. What the fuck is going on with my face? The stars say that this mountain god requires sacrifice. Goshi, as a footnote, powerful imperial official who served as an advisor to the emperor. Okay. After those aggrieved women were buried, their hatred soared relentlessly up toward the heavens. Many roaming cultivators had come forward to try to exorcise them, but they had all died at the hands of the maiden ghosts. Therefore, the terrified local villagers before Phoenix Feather Mountain had renamed it Maiden's Lament Mountain. And then there's two stanzas of a poem, I think. Probably a song, but yeah. Two verses. I'll read them out 1 second. The mountain bride, all night she cried. First she hates her helpless fate, second hates her ill-starred face. Third, their parting does she hate, a lost love left too late. Garbed in scarlet, crowned in gold, once she laughs, face wrapped. What the fuck? Why is this so difficult to say? Once she laughs, face warped by hate. Twice she laughs, blood streaks her face. Thrice she laughs, and with that last forever steals your fate. These verses told of the corpses of the countless beauties who had been buried alive on the mountain. Any crossing had to be completed within a single day when yang energy was at its peak, and the party could include no women, children, sick, or elderly. To do anything else would agitate the hundreds of vengeful ghosts upon the mountain. With the sound of 3 laughs, the ghosts would appear behind their victims, and all the travelers would perish on the mountainside. After Li Chanqing heard of this, after Li Qingchan, opposite. I've gotten used to Chanqing, and now it's Qingchan. Why do you do this to me? He went to Maiden's Lament Mountain to suppress the ghosts. At the time, even though he had defeated countless demons, he had never cared to build up his reputation, so not many people knew his name. When the magistrate saw this young cultivator, all in patched up clothes, looking like some nobody, he couldn't stand idly by. Even though the bounty's high, there's hundreds of ghosts on that mountain. Every single one of them is a terrible fiend. Zhang, don't put your life at risk. has a footnote, a polite term of address for a cultivator. But Li Qingchan only replied that he wasn't seeking riches. Then he walked up the mountain accompanied by nothing more than the sword at his side. His trip lasted 3 days. Just as everyone began to sigh that another cultivator had died on the mountainside, the anguished howling of hundreds of women burst out of Maiden's Lament Mountain, along with a beam of jade-colored light that could be seen from miles away. Later, when people described that sword, their expressions would grow dreamy, and they would sigh, mesmerized by the past. The water-parting sword forms, they would say, can reach as far as the eye can see, even piercing the 9 heavens. All that glitters is not gold, but true gold always shines. Li Qingchan had been buried in obscurity for many years, but this battle finally brought him fame. To this day, countless storytellers still passionately recounted his austere strength of character. Those jade-green robes fluttering in the wind, a sword in one hand and a soul lantern in the other as he flowed down from the mountain path. What's more, Li Qingchan had sealed hundreds of vengeful ghost souls during the battle. These souls couldn't have been better suited for refining weapons. Any artificer would pay such a high price for them that Li Chenqing would never have to worry about food or clothing for the rest of his life. But I said it wrong that time. But Li Qingchan didn't have the heart to sell them. Every one of them is a maiden from a pitiful family, buried alive as a sacrifice to the mountain at such a young age, and made into a vengeful ghost to do harm. This was not their intent. It would be far too cruel to refine them into magical tools. They never asked to be reincarnated. They never asked to be reincarnate. So, Li Qingchan resolved to travel to an island with potent spiritual energy in the Eastern Sea and help these hundreds of souls pass on. Because their hatred was so deep and their numbers so great, it was entirely possible that it would take more than a decade to complete the task. Before Li Qingchen left, he passed his water-parting sword manual to his younger brother, reminding the young man to work hard in cultivating and to use these sword techniques to do good as much as he could. As for himself, Li Qingchen vanished without a trace into the vast mortal world. Scene break. This tea, sorry, it's making my teeth feel kind of gross. I'll go brush my teeth after this. I don't like that feeling. That. Alright, I think we're back to Moji now. The healer from Chenan Terrace spoke cautiously. Even though Li Zongxi is said to be righteous, these corpses bear the marks of the water-parting sword. Could it be that the rumors are false? Impossible. Moji closed his eyes. Before Li Qingchan became famous, I had the good fortune to meet him. He was indeed a righteous man. He would never do such a despicable thing. Then, could it be his younger brother? Moji shook his head. The water-parting sword is very difficult to cultivate. It would be impossible to use without 10, even 20 years of arduous work. And Li Houde, Houde, let's hope that doesn't come up very often. Li Houde has only possessed his elder brother's sword manual for a few short years. The timeline doesn't add up. After the healer from Shanong Terrace completed their report, Moji sat in the courtyard, eyes closed and brows knitted, carefully thinking through the connections between these events. Li Wei asked curiously, "My lord, everyone at the street stalls is saying the culprit is a artist. Some strange fixation made him kill a bunch of the people in a brothel, but he kept 5 beauties to carry off. Is that not how you see it?" "It isn't." Li Wei hadn't expected Moji to so directly refute the city's hottest theory. He blinked, taken aback. Why? Moji unrolled a scroll of spirit jade on the table. The names and appearances of the deceased, as well as those of the 5 missing women, materialized on its surface. Come, look at this. Li Wei drew closer and looked at it intently for a good long time. He couldn't find any problem, so he replied, obsequiously. Obsequiously. I do not know what that means. Obsequiously? Obsequious? I think that's it. Obsequiously. Possibly. This subordinate is too dull to perceive the workings of heaven. Pick out the best 5 looking, Moji said. Li Wei loved doing things that like comparing and ranking people, so he pointed at a few of the brothel's beauties with all due speed. Her and her. No, she isn't as pretty as the one next to her. As he happily made his selections, Jihajun said, "Have you noticed that not a single one of the maidens you've chosen was taken out by this artist?" Huh? Li Wei was stumped for a second, and his eyes widened. It's just as you say. He ignored the star songstress and beheaded. This is Moji speaking. He ignored the star songstress and beheaded many of the most beautiful courtesans to keep these 5. Moji looked at the little portraits on the jade scroll and crossed his arms as he murmured, as if he were explaining himself to Li Wei, or as if he were sinking back into his thoughts. He did not do this for a woman. This humble one is lonely, sincerely seeking wives. Likely doesn't reflect his true intentions. At that moment, a servant of Jihum Manor hurried over. My lord, my lord. What is it? Moji turned, frowning. Has something happened? You had Zhao Lizi to keep an eye on Gumeng's movements in the prison. Just now, Zhao Lizi sent a message. Wang Shijun suspects that Gumeng had something to do with the Mansion of Beauties murder case, so... Moji's expression instantly shifted. So? So he went to interrogate Gumeng alone in the Chamber of Ice. That room has no windows, so Zhao Lizi had no idea what was happening within, and he didn't dare alert you without reason, so he waited until Wang Shijun came out. But then he saw Gumeng was already... He pathetically swallowed, mustering the courage to continue. But Moji didn't wait for him to finish. He'd already thrown down the jade scrolls and rushed straight for the prison without a backward glance. Hey, Aries! What are you doing here? The art from Remnants of Filth is so good. It's been like years since I last read a book. It's so good and it's so fucking pretty. Oh my god. And this... Oh my god. Spider-Man pointing at each other's name. Real. That was the end of the chapter. I just finished the end of this chapter. And I think this is where I'm gonna end today because my neck kind of hurts and it's affecting my throat and my ability to speak. So we just finished 2 chapters. But you know, if you want to go back and listen to this book, I have all of my VODs up on my YouTube. The ears are so cute. Yeah. I will get some rest, thank you, and then I will watch Arcane and I will cry. And possibly pass away. Are we ready for... Oh, sorry, I need to talk about the end of this chapter first. First things first. What? He's what? Gumeng is what? They said is he dead? He's not dead. I think they just think he's dead. But he's not dead. Anyway. Arcane, wait, which act are you watching? Act 3 comes out in like the... yeah, I'm ready. I literally rewatched all of Arcane just to be ready for Act 3. Yep. I mean, if you want to watch together, we can. I'm ready. But yeah. Oh my god. I'm actually not ready. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm so scared of Act 3. I really need them to be okay. See you in 3 hours, real. For real. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I Hey, no spoilers! Guys, don't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat. No spoilers. I mean, Misha. It's the Misha apocalypse all over again. Oh no! Oh my god. Misha from Honkai Star Rail? I don't know who that is, so I'm good. Oh my god. Find a penny for children with Isha in their name. Oh, in their name? You know what's funny? One of my friends in high school's name is Isha, but spelled differently. So every time I hear that name, I think of her. I actually probably shouldn't say that, but who cares? Literally, who cares? High school was forever ago. Oh my god. I'm so scared. I'm so scared, but I'm ready. I can put this book down. But we will come back to this book on Friday next week. Unless something's happening on Friday next week. Where is my thing? Yeah, there we go. We can put that down. Um, I might. No, nothing's happening on Friday, right? I don't think it's anything. I think it's after Friday, because like Thanksgiving and all that bullshit. Which Thanksgiving is bullshit. If you know, you know. Yeah, fuck Thanksgiving. It's so stupid and it's oh my god. It's just that some of my relatives want to come over. Not to celebrate or whatever. It's just because they have time off, you know, because it's technically a holiday. So, yeah. Anyway, Arcane Act 3. Ooh, surely Arcane season 3 is airing. Ooh, I've heard that this was the last season because Riot isn't actually making the big bucks off of this art off of Arcane. Which is fair, but also like fuck you, you already have so much money. Why not just do it? Why not just do it? Why not just continue? Why not just make the world a little bit better? You know, I'm covering my ears right now. I don't accept that they're I don't know how the fuck they're gonna wrap up everything in season 2. Like in 3 episodes? I have no idea how they're gonna do it, but they seem to be able to fit a lot in 3 episodes. So, yeah. Anyway, if you don't want to hear about Arcane, you can leave. I'm just gonna rant about Arcane for a little bit before I end stream. The Lulu, I'll keep waiting for season 3. Oh boy. We'll see how you feel about that after this arc. I'm so scared. I need everyone to be okay, but also I know that not everyone's gonna be okay, and I need Savika not to die. I literally. Oh, I froze. Hello? That's crazy. Hello? God, hello? I look crazy like this too. What the fuck? Oh, it's my phone, my bad. It's my phone the whole time. Yeah, I need Savika not to die. I'm so sad we didn't get to see Mbessa flip out when she heard Mel got kidnapped. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, but that was my fault. I haven't been charging my phone. I forgot to charge my phone. Yeah, I actually need Savika and Mbessa to interact. Maybe I need them to fight a little bit. But if Mbessa kills Savika, because we know who the strongest character is in this show. Although Ambessa, didn't she almost die from something? I forget. But she survived fucking Warwick when he popped out of the, you know? How uh, what? She's crazy. Anyway, I need Ambessa and Savika to have a one-on-one fight, but not have Savika die. Please, please, please. Oh no. Oh, I'm so scared. Ambessa literally survived because of her thick skin. Yeah. She's crazy. She is crazy. And I like she's evil, but I do have like so much respect for her. She's also really hot. I would let her do anything to me. If she bled from the scratches, Warwick would have continued attacking. Oh yeah. Huh. She's crazy. She is crazy. Oh my god. Okay. Can't blame her because her ideology has helped her succeed in nonsense. That's true. That is true. Like, you know that she has survived through some really bad shit, you know? But she is kind of a genocidal maniac. Not as much, not that much, but she does do war crimes, which is not great. But then she blames it on Caitlyn. But I also don't like Caitlyn either. I like Caitlyn's character. I like that she exists in this universe, but she's such a cop. True, but I can see her for being much more cruel. See her being much more cruel. Yeah. Yeah. For a Noxian person of power, she seems tame-ish. I don't know. I don't really know anything about um her culture. Oh, she's crazy, and I am so scared. And yeah. Anyway, that's where we'll leave off for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. I gotta go prepare my brain and my heart and my body for Act 3. And I'll see you later. Quite literally, I will see you later, Aries. Oh, I'll tell you about Oxus later. Okay, cool. We'll have like a debriefing session. Oh no! Oh boy. Yeah, we'll see each other in 2 hours, not 3 hours. Okay, I'll see you later. Take care of yourself. Have a good rest of your day, rest of your night, and wear a mask. Goodbye. Where's my? There it is. Bye.